2007.
Yeah.
2007. I was at Austin City Limits Music Festival, and I had already moved to New York. I was with an indie band, and I was writing songs and singing, but I was basically the drummer of the band, kind of the backseat a little bit. And so music was quintessential to my life, and I'd always had a band and really spent a lot of time on it. But that band Commas broke up, and I was kind of in New York, not sure what I was going to do, working a 9-to-5 at a law firm. And,
really?
yeah, just like have a degree and stuff, a bachelor's degree. But I was thinking about I want to go to law school, and went and saw a number of people play at that event. But I just realized, like, you know what, I got to be on the other side. I got to be on the other side of the stage. I got to be on the other side of the fence. You know what I mean? I got to be there. And there's only one way to do it. And I'd known that for a long time. I mean, I've been to zillions of shows and just had always felt that. But that moment, 2007, I said, all right, September 2007, when I get back, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get there. And like that's when I really committed myself to it.
Yeah.
Quit my job and started recording people to pay rent. And I guess I probably started building my recording setup when I was still in Rhode Island, like the mid-2000s, when I was a student. And then when I was working that full-time job, I was able to buy a bunch of stuff. I guess I was pretty young. I remember writing like silly songs and parodies and stuff, and like I remember when I used to take like 2 cassette players and overdub. I'd record like myself singing one thing or playing like a Casio keyboard, and then play that back live while recording, another vocal track. Like, and I must have been like 10 or 11 years old. You know what I mean? And that was just me, like, pretty solitary existence growing up. I have a sister, but basically no kids around. I kind of live in the middle of nowhere. And sort of did my own thing. That was just sort of a byproduct of that. But I had my first band started when I was 15, called Acid Rain Revival. And yeah, long story, off topic. But yeah, I probably wrote my first song like when I was 15.
What are you trying to get out?
Um,
Do you ever think about that?
I guess, I don't know if I think about that, but I always think about that, yeah. I'm just, really the only time I feel super comfortable in the universe is, or locked in, is when I'm working on music, and when I'm working on songs I've written or have created. That's when I feel the most in touch with kind of everything that's going on. Like some people meditate and they achieve that, some people do LSD and they achieve that. For me, when I'm really creating, when I'm really in that creative process, that's when I feel locked in. So I've got a real thirst for that,
right.
But then also, as far as what I'm trying to get out, I feel like I do have something to say, and I don't know if the language that even I know, the languages I know can express what I have to say yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what drives me is trying to continue to get closer and closer to being able to truly express what I feel, by writing songs, by performing, by playing guitar, making records, whatever it is. It's all just a process trying to get to the source. And I feel it. And sometimes I really feel like I'm getting closer. Sometimes I feel like I'm not,
Yeah.
But no matter what, I always feel that drive to do it for that reason. It's tough to say exactly where I'm at in the grand scheme of things. With Bartholomew as a 4-piece band with Dave Clem, John Phipps, and Keith Robinson, that entity, we made an EP over the winter time, and then John left the band during the recording of that EP. And for me, that was sort of you know, a chance to kind of evaluate where I was at and what kind of music I was making. And I think that Bartholomew, that band, got to a point where nobody was really that happy with the music we were making in the band, and the compromising,
Really?
and the sort of just the effort to get something that might have some sort of not commercial success, but would maybe have more of a wide range of an audience than what was maybe in all of our hearts. It kind of got to that point, so stepped away from it, and Dave Clem and I did a record of collaboration of our 2 songs, very stripped down, just no bass guitar. I play real simple drums on it on a few of the songs, but we decided to call that the Golden Age of Transit. And as of right now, that's where I'm going to put, you know, I'd say that's the continuation of Bartholomew at the moment. That's where I'll be playing shows under. Dave will be singing some songs. And, will there ever be another record where it's similar to the vibe of the Bartholomew band over last year? I think so. I think we'll get together, and I got a lot of songs in the works, and I can see that happening again too. But at this exact moment,
yeah,
I'm real happy playing this sort of real stripped down, lo-fi kind of approach. Kerri Lowe is, you know, that's a name that can draw people in the South and in New York City. She, you know, has sold a lot of records for an independent artist, and that her solo deal, whatever that is still evolving. And it's funny because I like to be at least a witness to that, if not involved in it. You know? But I see her as just sort of a dark, almost like Nico Case, or just very dark Patsy Cline figure who can really do something. And so that's her thing, and I love it. And it's a lot more safe sometimes than the music that we're going to make together, I think, as well. Like a lot more accessible for the masses. You know?
Okay.
Not in a, you know, not to be snobbish, but there's only going to be a select group of people probably who really dig what Kerri and I do, and we're comfortable with that. At the open mics, the Potion open mics, I always went. Number one thing I enjoyed about it was seeing other really talented artists, and you know, not just songwriters, but whatever, especially songwriters who kind of like had showed me something in myself, you know, or gave me, inspired me to do something that I hadn't done yet, you know what I mean, or whatever. Like someone pushed me, and like people like Steve Nelson, Kahan, James, you know, there's a lot of people like that for a long time. I always, you know, wanted to be around them because they, you know, more than just the open mics. One day, Kerri Lowe came along, saw her play at the open mic for the first time, and I got that same feeling. I'm like, all right, this kid can really write songs. This kid has great musical chops, and also just has the intangible vibe of someone who's super talented.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to be around him. Started playing guitar on her songs, played a couple of shows in the role of like lead guitar player. But after a couple of months of hanging around each other and sharing songs and everything, we sort of realized that we had a lot of common musical interest, and the Shins, and a lot of that mid-2000s music, roots music and bluegrass and country and things like that. We both really enjoyed these genres. That was like June.
June?
Yeah.
Oh.
May or June. Yeah, it was really, you know, just, hey, let's do this, see where it goes. And that's our goal right now, is to kind of create a new sound. I don't know if we've done that yet. I don't think it really sounds like Animal Collective meets Gillian Welch now, but with that sort of like open-minded, let's take two things we really love and that we feel are a part of us that we're not doing with our existing projects,
yeah,
and try to bring them out and put them in the world. And that was the motive. Now it's at a point where we've got some songs that we like, and we're going to play some shows and keep making records. And we played one show. We did a lot of regional sort of networking, met some people down there and everything, but the main purpose was to make an EP. The first Kerri and Bill installment proper. And we did that at Kerri's family has a beautiful lake house. So it was a great environment. We set up and did a 5-song record. And it went really well. Really kind of found something there, you know, as far as sound and an identity for our artwork project. Animal Collective meets Gillian Welch, David Rawlings type of project, you know, like a real acoustic, vibey thing.